Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us for this month's Cook the Book. This is Valerie, I'm Tina. We're here every month to talk about a book that we have in our collection here at the library. Usually it's a fiction book. This month though, we're going to do a nonfiction book, a memoir. And then we use inspiration from whatever book we're reading to come up with a great recipe. So the memoir that we're going to talk about this time is John Stamos, If You Would Have Told Me. I think so many people grew up with John Stamos, watching him on TV from his various sitcoms. Some older people like me remember him from General Hospital, one of his first gigs, as a teen idol back that far. This is a really interesting book. It doesn't go in chronological order. So if you're a person who likes things that flow in chronological order, this may not be for you, but the stories are wonderful. He grew up with a couple very supportive parents, middle-income family. His parents owned a diner in California, and it was called the Yellow Basket. And John, from the time he was very young, worked there in the kitchen, flipping burgers, making chicken tenders, doing scrambled eggs. And the fun thing is that even when he became a very recognizable star, his dad made him come to work at the diner every Sunday because Sunday mornings were their busiest time. And he said John was always his breakfast guy. So he had to be in the kitchen, even when he was making quite a bit of money and very recognizable and in all the magazines like Tiger Beat and Teen Beat, if you remember those. And people would come in just to see him in the kitchen preparing food. The book also talks about his marriages, his really lifelong obsession with the Beach Boys, and how he has played with them numerous times. They were on his sitcom with him several times, and he talks about his friendships with them, which is very interesting. Also, one of the things I found super interesting is one of his mentors from early on, who was someone who recognized him as someone who probably was going to rise through the ranks and be a very popular star. She was one of his mentors from early on. She ended up marrying a very famous serial killer. So there's that.
Oh my gosh.
It talks about his relationships with people he was on Full House with. Very interesting to hear about his relationship, like with the Olsen twins, the other people on there, but especially Bob Saget, who passed away several years ago. He talks about his relationship with him, how initially they were not super friendly on set, and then how that changed, and then even after the show ended, what a wonderful friendship they had. And he talks about the last time they were together before Bob died. And that's really, a very heartwarming story. And one of his quotes in here that is very interesting is, you just never know when something is going to happen. You live your life, you think you always have tomorrow, you have next week, and maybe you don't. And he said with Bob Saget's death, that really hit home with him and made him think about a lot of things in his life. So we're going to take inspiration from this book and the fact that his family owned the diner and really was kind of a fast food type joint before there was really truly fast food, to come up with a recipe. And the recipe we've come up with is Keto Big Mac Smash Burgers that Valerie's going to talk us through.
All right. And I just want you to know, it smells really good.
It does.
It smells really good. Okay, so in order to do these burgers, I really like this idea, especially with these keto extreme taco shells, because these are actually really good. So what we're going to do here, we've already done the ground beef. So you take 1 pound of ground beef, and then you add garlic powder and salt and pepper, and then you make 8 about the same size, basically meatballs out of it. So once you do that, then you have your tortilla shell. So let's see here. And then we're going to take our meatball and we're just going to press it into the surface of our tortilla shell, which I thought was kind of an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll go ahead and do that.
And that way it probably gets kind of thin, so it's easier to cook through, because it's so important to keep it cooked through. And Well, and we thought with this time of year, a lot of people have, you know, New Year's resolutions to eat healthier, eat fewer carbs, you know, lose a few pounds. So this is a recipe that really you could, if you're using the low carb tortillas, you know, that really cuts down on your carbs.
Yeah.
You could really adapt it any way you want.
And like I said, they are really good. So that was surprising to me when I first tried them. Because I didn't expect them to actually like taste good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they actually taste like a regular burrito shell. Let's see. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. All right. So once you get that, you're supposed to do all of them, but since we're just going to do one right now, we'll just do the one. And then when you put it in the skillet, you place it or meat side down. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. So, and it says to cook for 3 to 4 minutes, smashing the tortillas flat with a spatula. So keeping it, kind of keeping it going there.
And you know, this recipe we found online, but we have so many great new even recipe books, and this is the official Mind Diet, the new Kristen Cavallari, Truly Simple, Half-Baked Harvest, so many awesome books. So if you're looking to do a better health journey or just looking for some new recipes, you know, always stop by.
Definitely. Okay, so while this is cooking, just a little bit here. All right, so while that's cooking, I'm gonna make the sauce because this does have the Big Mac sauce with it. So let me go ahead and do that. It's in here. All right, so in this one, we have sugar-free ketchup, which I've actually never tried. So is it good?
It really is.
Okay.
It really is. We use, and I forget the brand. I always look for his face. G. Hughes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And G. Hughes, that brand, they have a lot of different salad dressings and things. So we've tried a lot of them, and it's a good brand. You can get it at Walmart.
I will definitely have to try that because it smells good. Okay, so in the Big Mac sauce, you have the yellow mustard, the sugar-free ketchup, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of vinegar. Just go ahead and stir those up. And one thing about mustard, it never has many calories in it or much sugar in it, so if any.
True.
Okay, so once you do that, then you have your 1/3 cup of mayo. So I'm just gonna mix that up with it.
I've never tried to make a Big Mac sauce at home.
I have not either, so I'm really interested in this. Especially if it's a lower kind of calorie one too, that would be fantastic. Okay. All right, so we have that all mixed up there. Okay, so the spices that we add to it, it's a 1/4 teaspoon paprika, it's a 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. So I'm just gonna throw that in here. I know the paprika gives it a really nice color. Alright. So there we have that. And then the last thing that we're gonna add to this is finely chopped dill pickles. Those in there. Which, as we discussed previously, these dill pickles are really good. Kind of picky about those, but
A lot of sizzle.
a lot of sizzle here. Okay, honestly, I might have to start making my burgers this way.
I'm a freak about being sure they're cooked all the way through. Like any pink is not for me. So I feel like this may be a really good thing in that it's so easy to get it cooked through when it's placed on the tortilla so thinly.
Yeah, and I would prefer thin slices of meat anyway.
Me too.
So
Yes.
seems like an all-around good choice.
Yes.
It smells really good.
You know, this would be a super easy thing too if you're someone who likes to go camping. This would be
would,
easy.
because you could make them up ahead of time and
Yeah.
just have your little burner skillet. And,
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good
Yeah.
idea. You could even make your sauce up ahead of time.
Yes. And if you have someone at home that's making the burgers, for lack of a better word, then you have everything out like a little salad bar. Everybody can put their own toppings on,
Mhm.
whatever type of sauce they want.
Alright, so we'll turn it over. Oh yeah, see, I like how
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really thin and cooked through nicely.
Mhm. Yeah, and then you just turn it over and you just cook it for another couple minutes just to crisp up the
Mhm.
tortilla. So that's really nice too. Yeah, these would be a fun thing. These would be easy to do for even like a little get together
Mhm.
or
Oh, yeah.
especially if it was gonna be a rainy day out or something, you know, and you were gonna grill out and
Uh-huh.
you can't.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's a great idea.
kind of a fun idea to do. Alright. I don't know, I would say that's done, especially being as
I think so too.
thin as it is.
And we're gonna top it with some American cheese, but you can use whatever type of cheese you like. American just melts really nice.
It does.
But any other type of cheese, honestly, a little square or shredded cheese,
Yeah,
would
they-
melt pretty easily on there, I would think.
Right, yeah. If you're not into the processed thing, but to be honest, like when I have my cheeseburger, I like the American cheese on it.
too, me too. I know it's like one ingredient away from plastic. but
I
it's
know,
good.
it's good. And I guess if you watch your other things that you
Yeah.
eat and stuff,
Yeah.
it'd be fine. But yeah, you could put just a thin slice like of cheddar or whatever you wanted on there. That would
Oh,
work
yeah.
too.
And again, if you're letting everybody put their own toppings on, you could like take a little, like, okay, what cheese do you want? Or if you're getting them off hot, they could put the cheese on.
Yeah, whatever they
themselves.
want.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, it's melting quickly.
Definitely. So.
And really, you're only limited by your imagination. We have lettuce and some extra pickles and avocado, but really you could put on whatever you want. You know what else this would be good? If you flop it over like a taco.
Oh, that would be
to
good.
like dip it in the Big Mac, dip the whole thing in the Big Mac.
Oh
sauce.
yeah. Roll it. You could even roll it up because it's thin enough.
Oh gosh,
too.
yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So I would say that this
Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely done.
Very nice.
There we go.
Very good. That
Um,
looks delicious.
It does. Yeah, and then you could top it. It says with shredded lettuce, but you could top it really with whatever toppings you want, honestly. So.
Very nice. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this. It's a very easy recipe. I feel like other than the Big Mac sauce, honestly, it's a recipe that you don't really need a recipe for. You could
Exactly.
just kind of whatever you have in your fridge, you could do
Yeah.
with what you like. And I feel like this would be something that most people would really enjoy as long as they are meat eaters.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was a fun one. And be sure, if you're in Central Ohio, stop by our library sometime. We would love to see you. Lots of good stuff and lots of good people. We'll see you next time.